І потрібно вже пошвидше закінчити цю війну і звільнити нашу Україну нарешті від ворога.
Я не думав, що стану військовим. Були інші плани на життя, але сталося так.
Since the UK-led training to the Armed Forces of Ukraine started in June 2022, over 10,000 soldiers have been trained and redeployed back to Ukraine.
I've been 9 years in the Air Force, but this is by far the most important thing I've ever done.
We run a 5-week basic combat course. It is every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for that period. The focus of the course is to give the volunteers to the Armed Forces of Ukraine the skills and principles to survive, fight and win.
До повномасштабної війни працював барменом. Я знав, що таке зі мною буде. Я чекав на це, я був готовий до цього. Піти захищати свою країну.
Я дитячий лікар, дитячий хірург. І мені довелося попрацювати з дітьми, які приїхали з окупованих областей. По правді сказати, те, що вони передавали, той емоційний фон, який був у них, це щось жахливе. І з цим жахом потрібно якось боротися.
Okay, we're going to start the demonstration with a small recap how to enter the building, and afterwards we're going to show you some new
A significant amount of the course is spent in the urban training facility. Urban is a complex environment with its own specific challenges, so it's really important that we train the trainees how to cope and operate in those environments.
Until now it's going well. It's a lot of information for those guys. We have a short term to practice it, so we have to tell them a lot of things and practice it a lot, again and again.
So the first man go in, the second man moves immediately behind him.
Двері закриті зліва.
They have to try to make it similar as we do in every urban terrain. So you have to put a lot of different buildings to make it as realistic as possible.
We have training teams from Norway, the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden and Finland, as well as UK and the Ukrainian national support element. Across the whole operation there's then Canadians, Australians and New Zealand training teams involved as well, so very multinational. It demonstrates the shared values that nations in NATO and NATO partners have, both in the support to Ukraine and just working together. Those relationships are built on years of working and operating together in other operational environments.
Lay down from my left and fill up each lane and find your target, and then we will begin shortly. We are training basic marksmanship. The goal here is to have good groupings and to make sure that they use their sights correctly as well.
The small arms training is an incredibly important part of the course, teaching the trainees the confidence and skills to handle a weapon safely, but also in a lethal manner to ensure that they can provide the best support to their units when they go back and are integrated into them.
It's all about teaching them how to be as efficient as possible with their weapon, but also how to survive as long as possible. Every night you go to bed and you think, okay, did I do good today? Was there anything I could have done different? It's an honor to be a part of their education and to see the progress they have. There's no place I would rather be right now.
Навчання проходять дуже добре. Для мене це нове все, тому я намагаюся навчатися, як і мої побратими. Атмосфера у нас дуже добра. Ми намагаємося слухати наших інструкторів. У нас дуже добрий прогрес, тому ми повернемось на Україну підготовлені захищати її.
As well as focusing on the relevance of the course, we also focus on the realism and immersing the trainees in those realistic battlefield scenarios to help them to understand the effects that has on them mentally and indeed physically, and also to prepare them for the battlefield that they'll go back to.
It's like a false bombardment that's come in and they've got to treat 2 casualties that are currently have been wounded. So it's up to the guys to understand what's wrong with them and then treat them. They get into it, making sure it's the very basic things like stopping massive bleeds, making sure the person can breathe and things like that. But it's been very, very good so far and they're taking it all on board.
Medical training is an important skill, and it's a focus on training soldiers to look after themselves should they become injured, but also to look after the soldiers left and right of them.
Right, let's go now! On the front line, where there's so many of them, casualties and wounds are going to happen over there. For them to know this stuff is critical, and these guys are all over it. They're hardly put a foot wrong.
In a 5-week course, we can't teach every context or every scenario that the trainees will face, but what we can give them is the basic skills and principles which they can then adapt in the context of what they're facing on the battlefield to survive and fight.
Слава Україні! Героям слава! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе! Україна! Понад усе!
Я гордий цим, що я пішов захищати свою країну. Зі своїми побратимами буду намагатися звільнити країну від окупанта і вигнати ворога з нашої землі.
З одного боку. Тобто це підтримка, яку дають норвежці, британці і загалом вся команда, яка працює з нами, її неможливо оцінити. Найважливіше, що ми зараз маємо на полі бою, те, що ми не самі, те, що ми з союзниками.